how to leverage AI. This topic has been the most researched topic in the last 6 months. However, this is not a rocket science, but still it is. So, the one thing that we should all know as humans is how to interact with AI. Yes, AI has been written by machine learning researchers, in which they train how the technology works and how the algorithms work. But as end users, can we really understand how the algorithms work? Well, not necessarily. So, what can we do? We can use sentences to interact with AI, and that is a very simple way of saying how to write better prompts. So, let's talk about how to do prompt design. Or if we go more further into the details, it becomes prompt engineering. So there are very simple key steps to do prompt engineering. First, anytime you're interacting with the technology, you have to think the technology knows everything. It doesn't know who you are. You could be a student, you could be an MIT mathematician, you could be a professor, you could be a professor in a different country, but you actually are interacting with technology in a different country. So technology does not assume your identity or your profession. So you have to explicitly tell. So for example, if you are researching, hey, write a paragraph for me on global warming, you have to tell the technology or the AI, what perspective are you thinking? Are you thinking to write an essay from a fourth grader perspective or a researcher perspective, or you are a manager in a tech company? You might want to say, hey, you are a tech product manager in a big Fortune 500 company. Please write me a 3-page essay on global warming. Now, that's more specific because AI assumes that everything is infinite and everything is abundant. So, we have to give constraints to AI. So, when you interact, when you ask a question, you have to give the constraints. Only work in the constraints of this particular problem, or only give me a problem, or only give me an answer using these words. The next set of principle that I want to talk about is examples. Sometimes you're thinking of an answer already in your mind even before you get the answer. And so that's an example. For example, I would like to ask you this question. If you were to define the opposite word for light in one word, what would you say? Now, the chances are you would say dark. And that's right, light is to dark. What is the one word you would say for absence of air, such as vacuum? So, what is the opposite of vacuum? I would say air. So, we're working with an example here. I'm telling you how to answer me. So, I asked you answer in one word, answer to me in 3 words, answer to me in one paragraph. And I'm also telling you explicitly how I'm expecting the answer. So, similarly, AIs will answer you not knowing what you're looking for. And so you have to tell the AI exactly the kind of format you're looking. Sometimes I get clients coming to me and they say that, well, it doesn't answer me in the way I'm looking for, so this must be useless. Well, the AI is not useless, well, not right now, but it is not getting the examples that you have in your mind. So I would suggest giving it an example. For example, you are looking for a marketing campaign for a new beverage that your company just launched. So you have an example in mind. For example, give me the marketing campaign with the audience, with the scope, with a punchline, and with some closing remarks. So this is an example or a template, and you can ask AI to answer in that specific format for you. So the next thing I would like to talk about is persona. And persona is a technical word for saying the role you want your AI assistant to take. For example, you might have a vacuum cleaner in your home. Can the vacuum cleaner do dishes? No, they have a dishwasher for that. So essentially, we have different appliances or robots to take our instructions and do specifically what they are trained for. And so now imagine an AI assistant knowing everything. So they can perform a lot of things, but since we are looking for an answer that is specific to us for that specific question, you have to tell the AI what role you want them to take for this specific scenario. So, for example, a persona could be somebody who is actually researching on a mathematic topic in a university, and that's a very specific role. And when you tell that to the AI assistant, now from now on, you are a researcher working in a university, is going to answer to you like it's a mathematic researcher. Now, contrast this with somebody who is a third grader in school and they're trying to learn math. If the same question is asked by that student to that AI assistant, do you think the answer would be similar or different? Well, these are two different persons, and so how you would explain technology to a third grader would be very different than how you would explain technology to a researcher. And so the AI assistant has to know what kind of person he is dealing with. And so that's why we talk about persona, so that you can limit what the scope of the AI assistant is. And so you start getting back answers that are more useful to you. Another example I would give you is the role of a therapist. For example, you go to a therapist and you start talking about your problems. Well, if the therapist is not trained in that specific subject, or they had a different degree or education in a different subject, then chances are they probably might not be able to answer you in the way you're looking. And that's why you go to a different therapist. So this is similar to talking to an AI assistant. You give them a specific persona so that they talk to you in the way you want you want to get your problems resolved.
So in this video, we learned about prompt design and prompt engineering. We understood how playing with prompts can fundamentally change our experience with AI products. Hope you enjoyed this video. This is just the beginning. Stay connected to this channel for more such AI content. See you next time.